Good morning, my farm to table family. Grab that hot mug of coffee, breathe in that sweet smell of sunrise, and let's get real. Today we're not talking about tractors or chickens or compost tea. No, today we're talking about the thing you can't grow more of, the asset you're spending every single day, whether you like it or not, and that is time. And let's challenge right out the gate. Let's challenge you with this. Are you spending your time like someone who's building freedom or like someone paying rent in someone else's dream? Because when we say invest in your land, tools, and time, that last word is the most slippery. Money comes and goes. Chickens lay and molt. But time, once it's gone, friends, it's gone. And the truth is, if you don't reclaim your time, you'll never reclaim your life. So let's dive in to today's episode, Time Wealth, Trading Convenience for Capacity. This is the third episode in step 6 of Invest in Your Land, Tools, and Time. So let's get into this about how the 40-hour work week eats your food security. Now, if you're like me, 40 hours is a very, very short week. I usually have a lot more time invested in my week as far as work. But listen, we're going to work the 40-hour work week. That's the common work week for most people. So let's kick this off with a gut check. If you work 40 hours a week and then drive, decompress, scroll a little while, maybe microwave dinner, binge a show, tell me, when exactly are you going to plant those potatoes? When are you going to milk goats or bake sourdough? Or when are you going to build that chicken tractor? The 40-hour week isn't just about money. It's about how your energy is allocated and what you can't do when you're working for someone else. And we've got to stop pretending like it's normal. It's not. The 40-hour work week was built for factories and assembly lines. It was never meant for people who want to grow their own food, raise kids with real values, or build that resilient life from the soil up. So let me get into the math to back up what I'm saying, because the math is simple. 40 hours working, 10 hours commuting, 10 hours doing meal prep, laundry, and errands. Sound familiar so far? 35 hours for sleep. That leaves you barely 20 hours a week. And that's if nothing breaks. Nobody gets sick, and you just don't collapse from exhaustion. And here's the cold, hard truth. We don't have a food problem. We have a time problem. Because self-reliance, it's not really that expensive. It's just time heavy. And the system knows that. It keeps you too busy to take back control. Chew on that for a second, because I know it's gotten a hold of me. So let's move on. Let's shift your schedule to make room for production. And how do we do that, you say? We're going to get practical and we're going to dig into it. And you're probably thinking, okay, Ryan, I need my job right now. I've got bills. And believe me, I hear you. I'm in the same boat. I've got bills. I've got to work and pay those bills. I'm right there beside you. And we're not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. Okay? But I am saying this, your schedule can't stay the same and lead to a different life. I mean, the mere definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, it is a system and it keeps you in it, and it's designed that way on purpose. So what do? We shift from consumption time to production time. And here's what this could look like. Just an example. Instead of Saturday errands, you plan a Saturday work block, hauling compost or prepping raised beds maybe. You turn your screen time into skill time. Instead of seeking entertainment all the time, watch a tutorial on seed saving, not the situational comedy or sitcom maybe. Education over entertainment. Maybe you bundle your tasks. You teach your kids while you plant those potatoes. Listen to podcasts while you split firewood. Sounds like a good idea. So we'll start with what we call the 4-block farm week. Okay? It's the 4-block, count them 4-block farm week. Just 4 90-minute blocks, hour and a half. That's it. 1 in the morning before work, 1 after dinner, and 2 on the weekend. That's 6 hours a week, which equals 26 hours a month. enough to build garden beds, start meat birds, or knock out a year's worth of firewood. Don't underestimate what small time blocks do when they're aimed at freedom and they're aimed at you working your way out of a job. Now, let's do some things, okay? We're going to do a time audit, and I'm going to challenge you to do this time audit. Where is your time leaking? Where is it going? Let's pop the hood. If you really want to change how you live, you have to track how you spend your time the way a budget tracks your money, all right? So here's the challenge. Like I said, do a time audit. Take one full day and write down what you're doing every hour. Not what you think you're doing, but what's actually happening. And you just might be shocked. This has been done with families who say they don't have time to homestead. Turns out they were spending 3 hours a day across devices, another hour shopping online, and another 2 hours lost to decision fatigue and unplanned interruptions. And boy, can we relate to that. Mm, that's just that's 6+ hours a day just leaking away. Here's the secret sauce, understand? Once you see your time, you can steer your time. Okay? Those same 6 hours a week, take those same and convert them to, say, canning some jars of broth, building a cold frame for winter greens, maybe learning to weld and fix your own gates, or one of the many other things in your skills toolbox. Your time is your wealth, okay? But it's got to be intentionally invested, not accidentally spent, just the same as it is with your money, okay? So let's talk about this. Let's go through some real world stuff, okay? Because you're not alone. People are doing this right now today. Talk about the Crouch family. They downsized to a smaller house, paid off debt, and now run a 2-acre market garden. They work less and eat better than ever. Their kids know how to butcher chickens before they knew how to multiply fractions. Just saying. Okay, let's talk about Carlos and Jess. Carlos left a high-pressure IT job. Some of you can relate to that. Started working part-time doing web design from home. They took the other 20 hours and built out a homestead that now supplies 70% of their food. They went from DoorDash to Door Eggs. How about that? Let's talk about Amanda, single mom working 2 jobs. Started waking up an hour early to tend rabbits. Now she's feeding her family, bartering meat with neighbors, and has plans to quit her second job by next spring. They didn't win the lottery. They won back their time. Each and every one of these, they won back their time and reinvested it into their future. Okay, so what is today's takeaway? What's the lesson? What's the moral? What's to be taken from this? Let me tell you, if you want to grow a real life, if you want to stop trading security for convenience, then you need to treat your time like a garden. You got to weed it. You got to water it. You need to protect it from pests and plant with purpose. No one's going to give you more time. There's only so many hours in the week, minutes, days. Okay? But you can take back what others are taking from you. Because when you trade convenience for capacity, when you stop microwaving meals and start building systems, you'll realize you're just not getting your time back. You're actually getting your life back. Okay. So here it is. That's it in a nutshell. And I'm going to go over this again. That's it. Invest in your land, your tools, and your time. That's what we've been talking about this week. Going to continue. Now, reclaiming time, that's the hinge that swings the whole door. If you're ready to do a time audit, make a production block, or tell your job, not today, Satan. And hey, if nobody's told you today, you don't need permission to live free. Just a plan and a shovel and the guts to start. So keep planting truth, harvesting freedom, growing something that outlasts the storm. And remember this, okay, final stop. Real wealth is measured in hours, not dollars. So we need to make sure we use them well. Because again, time is wealth. We only have so much time and we can't grow more of it. So make the best use of it each and every day. All right. I hope that landed well. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Normally about this time, I'd be doing roll call, seeing who all's in the chat and what's going on. But, well, unfortunately, for those who haven't figured it out already, It is Memorex Ryan. Unfortunately, did have to be in at work today, so this had to be pre-recorded before a not-so-live studio audience. In fact, a couple of cats who just don't care. But anyway, so no roll call. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all in there. I do miss being with you today. I would rather be doing it live, as always. But here we are. I know Bro's in and keeping things going, and Scotty's probably being his usual self, and everybody's laughing and having a good time. Just know that, hey, I wish I was there. Now, that also means no redneck weather report. So if Jack happens to be in on the chat, maybe he can fill you in. Or, you can go out over there to YouTube to his channel, Dyer Family Farms, and watch the Redneck Weather Report and get your weather today. Because, wouldn't want to do a day without Jack telling you what the weather is. So, I know tomorrow is chances of rain, but, more heat. But anyway, we'll see, see what our day is. But anyway, so let's move right along. This is probably going to be a little shorter show today. So I apologize for those who may be coming in late, or those who watch on a later time. Just seems to always work out this way when I don't have the chat guys to talk to and answer questions and feed off of. I tend to get a little shorter in my subject, a little shorter time. So, but anyway, if you're here for the first time, welcome in. Normally I'm live, but today is what we refer to as Memorex, Ryan. You'll see that in the chat. And it is Wednesday, and it is the 18th day of June already, 2 days away from the official start of summer, and it's beginning to feel like it finally. But anyway, I hope you all, like I said, doing well. So here's the brain buster question of the day, and this one made me laugh. This made me giggle. What would have happened if Pinocchio said, "My nose will grow now"? I don't know. Hadn't thought about that before. What would happen if Pinocchio said, "My nose will grow now"? Is he telling the truth, or is he telling the lie? We don't know. Anyway, there's your thought. You can chew on that one. Hopefully somebody has a wise answer so it's not bugging you too much. But anyway, so let's get on to the quote of the day. And it does tie in, as most it usually does, to the primary drive today. So people often complain about lack of time when lack of direction is the real problem. And a man named Zig Ziglar said that. Motivational speaker, many of you may know who he is. I know Bro does. Anyway, people often complain about lack of time when lack of direction is the real problem. Seems to be some wisdom in that statement right there. So, just kind of continuing on, you know, and y'all can, I hope y'all are having a great conversation about this in the chat. As far as, the things we do on a day-to-day basis that are time sucks, they're time stealers, they're keeping you from doing what you want to be doing. Now I talked about the job, recognizing, of course, people have to earn an income, and not everybody is able or, willing to step off that step of not having a job. A lot of people do. So I don't think that's, I'm bagging on that, but just understand that, I'm in the same boat. I sell my time to a company in return for money. Now that prohibits me from doing some things. That blocks me off time. I have to take time off. And there's a lot of things that go into that. And I think we've probably all been in that boat. Now, I know some of y'all have jobs that you're able to work from home, or, you only go in certain days, and that's awesome. I mean, that allows you a ton of freedom to take care of things. And that's the direction I'm trying to head, is not that I'll stop working, but that my work will be for myself and my wife and our family, and I'll have better control of it, better flexibility, and that time is working for me better than it is right now. I'm not complaining. I make a good living, but it takes a lot of time. And just like today, where I'm not with y'all live, I'm having to record because I had to be in early, earlier than the show. So again, control of your life, control of your time. And my company is not any different than most others. They think they own you in the sense of your time. There's no respect for it. So, I can relate. But and there's a lot of things that have not got done, have not got completed, or are taking way longer to complete for that exact same reason. and all those things that I listed in there, I'm living. I've lived it. I'm living it now, so I can totally relate to what it means. So when I'm talking about this, I am uh, preaching to myself as much as anything else. I'm guilty of it. Time management is one of the most desirable skills is being able to manage your time properly, being able to multitask or being able to get things done, in time blocks. I love the idea of the 4 hour, the four time, the time blocks where you designate a time block and you designate tasks on certain days or you do things on certain days, so that you set a schedule and write it down, make it real. Because I know for me, if I don't write it down or if I don't save it in some way, if I don't have it scheduled, then it gets lost. And I wake up and I forgot that I was going to do that. Or something comes up and then I've got to choose and I've got to prioritize what it is, and there will always be something to pop up and take our time, no matter what we're doing. So, the better we can get at managing our time and valuing our time, okay? Um, Investing in our family, investing in our homes, investing, you know, kids and grandkids, those are never a waste of time. Okay. And nobody's going to, at the end of life, nobody's going to care how many hours a week you worked or, what job you had or any of that stuff. Not really. And your family certainly is, but they are going to remember the time that you invested in them, the time you invested in your home, the time that you made memories. They're going to remember that. They're going to remember those things. And so that's where we need to be wise in our investments of time because we can't add 1 minute to our life. That dash in between the dates, that's all there is. And, you know, we have to make the best of it. And, you know, there's more important things than money. It takes money to do a lot of things, but more important. So again, just that little moment of just thought about time and time management and prioritization, and the fact that we have more time in a week than we often give ourselves credit for. It's just that we don't use it properly. So think on that. That was kind of a gut check day. Kind of maybe look at it, like I said, do a time audit. I need to do one too, and see where that leads you. So again, hope that you found this helpful today. Hope this, is another one of those great episodes that resonates and makes you all think about how are we spending our time? Because that's the one thing we can't get back. Once it's spent, it's gone, and we only got a certain amount of it. And when it's gone, it's gone. So anyway, that's the Bible says, don't worry about tomorrow. The day has enough troubles of its own. Right. So it's not don't plan. It's not don't think about it. It's don't lose sleep. Don't stress or fret over it. Trust in the Lord. But anyway, that's that. Take that with you and apply it because it doesn't do any good to have knowledge if we don't put it to work. So anyway, let's move on. We're going to get into upcoming events this weekend, Friday, Saturday, the 20th, 21st of June, the Homestead Freedom Festival in South Fork Homestead in Paris, Illinois. You can check that out on the Facebook and look at it online and be able to find that. Looks like a pretty good event. It's like on a ranch, a historic thing with a mock-up town and everything. It's a pretty cool looking deal. Anyway, if you're up in that area, might be worth going to look at. June 27th and 28th, Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You can find that information again at modernhomesteading.com, or you can go onto the Google machine or the Facebook and find it over there. Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 5th through the 6th in Marshfield, Missouri. Great event. Looking forward to that one. It's the 6th year. The speakers are awesome. The vendors are awesome. They've just got a really cool setup there, and it's a fabulous expo, worth the trip. So if you don't have it on your calendar, get it there. Ozarks Homesteading Expo. Keith and I plan to be there, and looking forward to going and hanging out with a lot of people that we enjoy hanging time with. Anyway, bringing the Farm2Table Show to the Ozarks Homesteading Expo. And, of course, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th and 27th, the Southeast Expo Center in McAlester, Oklahoma. super excited about that one. Of course, Keith and I have been on the committee and been a part of this one. Now the second year. Super excited about it. Chris and Dodge and the gang, all doing a fabulous job and getting this put together. And of course, vendors are going to be great. Got good speakers. Of course, I'm speaking and Keith's speaking, so of course we got to get speakers. No, just kidding. Uh, we're speaking, but I mean, there's good speakers there, a lot of teachers, a lot of learning, and the vendors. It was a great first year, and I think it's going to be an even better second year event. So, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, Southeast Expo Center, McAllister, Oklahoma, September 26th and 27th. And of course, Homesteaders of America Conference, the granddaddy of them all, October 10th and 11th in Front Royal, Virginia. Last word is that they are sold out of tickets, which is awesome for them. But anyway, that's an event that, man, there's, like I said, I've said it 100 times already, lineup that is second to none, speaker lineup. And vendors, and it's just a great event up in Northern Virginia. But anyway, that is the events that I have. Certainly if you know more about them, drop them in the comments, not the chat, the comments, and we'll see if we can look into them. But anyway, guys, I hope you've been having fun with it this morning. Hope you've been enjoying the chat. It is Wednesday, like I said, and anyway, looking forward to it. And we will see how the day goes for all of us, I guess. A lot of crazy things happening in the world, so keep your head on a swivel, pay close attention. And do good things, be a good light in the world. That's what I'll say. But anyway, let's get control of our time, folks. Let's get control of our time. And like I told you, today was going to be a shorter episode, speaking of time. And that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button, give me the old thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you're not already, subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. And remember, we are #Stronger Together, #Connect to Grow with the Farm to Table Show, #Think Outside the Big Box Store Shop Local, and #Tablers Unite. Super excited, glad. Sorry I'm missing all my tablers, my morning crew that are in here every morning. And of course, shout out to those who don't always chat but listen. Sure love seeing y'all when you come in. Glad you're here. And of course, to our replay crew, some of y'all that have to work and do different things and catch us later. We appreciate each and every one of you. And hope you enjoyed the show today. Remember, be a blessing to someone today as you go through. Just a smile, just a simple smile or a wave could make someone's day. So anyway, everybody have a wonderful day. Be blessed and stay safe. And Lord willing, we will see you all tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. right here on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. So we're going to hand this over to Hank, and we will see you all on the other side.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.